Woman reveals moment SWAT team was called to clear members of sovereign citizens group, I think we know which group this is, from her New Jersey house after they broke in, changed the locks, and claimed it as their ancestral home. Hello everybody, welcome to the Common Sense Academy. I'm your host, Joe Palmetto, Joe the Lawyer. If you like my content, please like, subscribe, comment, and share. Thank you for joining me today on the latest of sovereign citizen nonsense, ridiculousness, and debunking the lies. Before we dive completely into this article, raise your cup, your glass in the air. I got a cup of Joe here, my 9/11 Memorial Cup. You may have beer, wine, water, whatever it is. It tastes better when we sip together. Cheers with me and take a sip. Tink. The hits just keep coming with the sovereign citizens, everyone. And I'm sorry I'm on this very glitchy website, the Daily Mail. I like their mail, but boy, I like their mail. I like their website, but boy, are they glitchy. New Jersey resident Shanetta Little says a small group of men broke into her Newark home Friday, June 18th, claiming the property as their ancestral home. In a TikTok video, Little outlines her bizarre encounter with the group known as, oh, you already knew, the Moor sovereign citizens. Little said she received legal notices before Memorial Day weekend claiming her home was being claimed by someone with connections to the group. The group of men broke into her home while she wasn't there, sawed off the locks, and changed them. Now, we have seen this before, everyone. We've seen this before with these nutcases. What I think is they like to go into new homes that have just been sold but haven't been moved into yet. And that's probably a period of light supervision for these houses, and that seems to be exactly what they did here. We've seen other videos of more sovereign citizens moving into houses like that, living in it for days or even weeks before they were discovered or finally kicked out. A new homeowner got more than she bargained for when a group of men broke into her newly purchased New Jersey home and claimed the property as their ancestral home. Remember, the Moors believe that somehow they come from the kingdom of Moab, which was a 4th century BC kingdom outside the Holy Land. Okay, there's no scientific evidence to back this up. None. Humans, the only people that were over in the Americas at that time were the Native Americans, and they came across the Beringian land bridge in about 12,000 years ago, okay? Nobody from the kingdom of Moab came to America. In a TikTok video that has garnered over 325,000 views, Shanetta Little, 37, or REG Black Girl, describes her bizarre encounter with the extremist group known as Moorish Sovereign Citizens. In a 49-part story time explanation which ended with a SWAT team being called in. Okay, we're going to take a look at that video of SWAT making the arrest right now.
Yep. That's the battering ram to my front door.
Watching at this shit. It's like a movie. That's what
we got him.
Why you gotta tell him that? Why you gotta?
Yes. Okay. Oh my God. She has been on one this whole morning. They had to carry him on the time. There he is. They have to carry him because he won't leave. He's laying on the ground.
Moorish sovereign citizens have been labeled an extremist group of squatters who do not recognize the authority of the United States government or its laws. And in the video, Little explains the men broke into her Newark home while she wasn't there on June 18th, sawed off the locks, and changed them. She noticed the break-in when she arrived at her home one afternoon to have the gas lines fixed and discovered her keys didn't work. Little, who works as an operations specialist, explained she had been living in a separate apartment while renovations on her new home were being made. That's exactly when they like to move in. I'm stumbling with the locks, feeling like an idiot, and I slowly realize this isn't even my doorknob anymore because my house had an original vintage doorknob, Little told DailyMail.com. She says she immediately called her contractor to see if she had changed the locks when she was last there. When Little discovered her contractor wasn't the one who switched out the locks, her anxiety kicked in. And just a comment on that video that we just watched, notice the Moor sovereign citizen refused to get into the police car. Man, whew. Am I glad we have the police for nutcases like this. Here are some videos here of the SWAT team and the Newark police bomb squad. She noticed the break-in when she arrived at her home one afternoon to have the gas lines fixed and her keys didn't work. Here's some more pictures of law enforcement on the scene. I called the police and dismissed the gas company guy, and the police basically tell me it's going to take a long time because it's not an emergency or a priority, Little said. They told me they would get to me in the order my call was received. That's an emergency to me. While waiting for the police to arrive, Little decided to ask her neighbors if they witnessed anything unusual while she was gone. That's when she made an alarming discovery. All of a sudden, my next-door neighbor, who I share a fence with, pulls up, and I ask him if he had seen anyone hanging around my house lately. He told me there had been two men hanging around the house, one of which claimed to be my husband. So not only did they break into the house, they used lies and deceit to achieve it. Apart from owning a cat, Little explains she is a single woman who lives alone. And there's Ms. Little. Oh, look, she's becoming schooled in the Moroccan Empire Consulate of New Jersey. And remember, I told you, if you read my book over here, the Moorish sovereign citizens tend to be centered in Philadelphia, New Jersey, New York, sort of metropolitan area. That's where the church was founded. She basically told me she noticed two men that were there and they were sawing off the lock on the side door. They told my neighbor they were going to be her new neighbors. Obviously, that freaks me out, I'm sure. Little said she received two legal notices just before Memorial Day weekend. I love how legal notices are in parentheses, claiming her home was being claimed by someone with connections to the Moorish sovereign citizens. You probably should have reported it to the police then. They are part of an extremist group that emerged in the 90s and have been known to retaliate against government authorities through financial means, a process called paper terrorism, something we are well aware of here in the Common Sense Academy. The letter sent to Little stated she would have to surrender her home if she refused to vacate within 30 days. When she took the letters to her lawyer, they were dismissed as a scam. Little said the police, she went to the wrong lawyer. She should have came to me. I would have reacted. Little said the police responding to the incident were initially treating the man occupying her home as a squatter. Yeah, they more or less are squatters. However, under New Jersey property law, someone can only claim squatters' rights if they have been living in a property for a minimum of 30 years and paid 5 years of property taxes. Yeah, that's called adverse possession, and that's not what was happening here. They were squatting like people who, homeless people, drug addicts squat, or people who overstay their rent without paying rent or squatting. This is sort of along those lines, though these are trespassers. When confronted by responding officers, Little said the man occupying her house claimed to be a sovereign citizen, saying he was not subject to the local or federal law. Eventually, he was removed from the property, arrested, and the locks were changed shortly after. Little said she needs to pursue charges against the man. As of now, she hasn't filed any charges or heard back from anyone at the prosecutor's office. Well, you better get on the phone about that. This is not the first time. Let's scroll down a little bit. This is not the first time a group of sovereign citizens who say they own most of the land in the Western Hemisphere have caused problems for homeowners. Back in 2020, they knocked on the doors of wealthy homeowners in the Seattle area and showed fake documents alleging that their properties belonged to them. This isn't the only time either, Daily Mail. They're all over the place. According to detectives in Snohomish County, Washington State, members knocked on doors of waterfront homes in Woodway and Edmonds and informed the residents that they were moving in. Cairo TV reported. Looks like this is one of the gentlemen who moved into the house. In December, this is an old one. In December 2018, Joel Fedd was arrested by authorities in Gwinnett County, Georgia, after he moved into someone else's property, changed the locks on the doors, and displayed no trespass signs. In December 2018, authorities in Georgia arrested a man after he moved into a $500,000 home another family had just purchased. What did I tell you? They like to move into these homes that have just been purchased but not yet moved into. Joel Fedd claimed the home was his because he is an indigenous Moor and as such had rights to the land. It is thought that Fedd claimed he had a right to claim the land as there is a theory that Moors had discovered the Americas before Christopher Columbus. Let's not call it a theory. Let's call it what it is. Complete nonsense. In March 2013, a family of extremist squatters occupied a $3 million mansion in Memphis, Tennessee, before being evicted by an armed SWAT team. Now, the reality here is they have done this even more times than that, and we have covered it here on the Common Sense Academy many, many times. What worries me is these seem harmless, but we've seen in the past that sovereign citizens have attacked and killed police officers. And these interactions keep increasing, and interactions with police can lead to violence. Somebody's going to get hurt. This sovereign citizen stuff are complete and total lies. They are lies. Stop believing in them. I'm glad that this woman got out there and got 320,000 views. I mean, the greater public needs to be aware of these people because they're nonsense and they can and will be dangerous. And I worry about it getting worse in the future. Okay, everybody, thank you for tuning into Common Sense Academy. I'm Joe Palmetto, Joe the Lawyer. Sign up for my other channel, Tips from a Lawyer. Also, like, subscribe, comment, and share. I'm here to bring you sovereign citizen news, sovereign citizen videos, and to debunk the nonsense. If you want my full guide on the nonsense debunking, read my book, Sovereign Citizens by Joe Palmetto. Common Sense Academy is out. Peace, everyone.